Hey, I'm Adam Jusko from ProudMoney.com. Are American Express's Centurion Airport Lounges overrated? Well, I just had an experience on Saturday in Miami that made me ask that question. So I just flew in from Miami on Saturday night, and boy, are my arms tired. Anyway, it was around dinner hour when we hit the airport lounge. So we had kind of a late flight. I think it was like around 8:50. And when we got to the airport, we ended up with like maybe an hour and a half or so. And so we decided to go to the Centurion Lounge. Now, recently they changed the rules, if you don't know, at the Centurion Lounges, where if you bring a guest and that guest is not a platinum card holder, you have to pay $50 for them. And I was with my wife. And so I ended up paying the $50 because we thought to ourselves, well, if we go to a restaurant here or whatever and have dinner and have drinks, it'll cost us at least $50 anyway. So let's just go there and we'll get some food there, and it'll be a wash, right? So anyway, we went to the Centurion Lounge, paid the $50, and they let us in. So I'd never been in the Miami Centurion Lounge before, but I had seen these nice pictures online of what it looked like when there weren't very many people in it. But when we got there, even though there wasn't a line, it was pretty near capacity. And again, it was Saturday night. Probably more leisure travelers than business travelers. In fact, I'm sure it was. It was a dinner hour, so people were really moving around a lot to go get food. And it was tough to find a seat in there. So we went in, and kind of the way it works, it's not so much like, it's kind of a big space, but it's a space that is like sort of long and thin, and it kind of like goes around a corner. So we had to go like around and into the back, and that's where there was a little more seating, but there was an area that was a little more business related, where there were desks and you could set up your laptop and sit there. There were people all in there that were eating. Every two top table had people at it, either one or two people, and there were some little like carousels, I guess you might call them, where you had some dividers up. People were all sitting at those. So we were looking around for a bit, and then finally somebody got up, and we just grabbed their table as quick as we could, even though it was like a little slimy on top. It looked like it had been a while since anybody had actually cleaned it. So the whole scene, a little chaotic. Now, while it would be nice to show you video of exactly how the scene looked, I just was tired at the time. It did not feel like doing this, panning across the whole sea of humanity. But anyway, we had our table and we went and got some food. It was a buffet, and it was okay food. It wasn't something where I was like, oh my God, I can't believe how great this is. But it was fine, and we each had a couple drinks because we like to have drinks, and we ended up tipping on those drinks, so that also was like another expense. Some people think you shouldn't have to tip in the airport lounges, but we pretty much tip people who serve us, and so we also had that expense, which we would have had anywhere, but it also rolls into exactly how much you're paying when you go to one of these lounges. But anyway, so we had our food and drink, and you could hear everyone's conversations, and almost like as a cliche, there was a baby crying in the corner. And so it was just a little chaotic, and I thought to myself, this experience is probably not any better, and maybe even a little worse than if we had gone to that TGI Fridays that we passed as we were walking to the Centurion Lounge. And in fact, if we had gone to the TGI Fridays, there would have been a host who would have looked for a table that was open, and they would have wiped off the table before we sat at it. So it's been about a month now since American Express changed their policy with the Centurion Lounges, where Platinum Card members cannot bring a guest for free anymore. So like I said, I had to pay $50 for my wife to come in. And when I made a video last month saying that this change was about to happen and that it was taking away sort of a really nice feature of the Platinum Card, a certain number of people in the comments to that video said, I wish they would up that to $100 or more, because these lounges are overcrowded and they're letting all these people in who are bringing guests. And if you are a business traveler and you want to go into these lounges, you have to stand in line, and there's people everywhere, and it's chaotic, and you can't get your work done. And now that I've had that experience on Saturday, where I saw what a lounge really looks like at full or very near full capacity, I kind of see what they're talking about. So it is a situation where American Express is almost like a victim of the success of the Platinum Card. they want to keep signing people up for the Platinum card, and the Centurion Lounge is one of those reasons that people would get it. But the more people that get it, the more people that want to go into the Centurion Lounges. Now, again, it was Saturday night, and there were a lot of people, and you're in Miami, which obviously is a big city, both in terms of traveling to Miami, but then going to international destinations, all of that kind of stuff. But still, it's a problem that American Express has been trying to solve and that people have been complaining about for a long time, but no one's really come up with the solution. So the concept of the Centurion Lounges is great, and if this Miami lounge had been even like 50 to 70% of capacity, it probably would have been just fine, but it really was kind of bursting at the seams. Now, I'm not sure what American Express can do. They could jack up the annual fee on the Platinum card again, or maybe they could change the structure so you only get X number of free visits even as the primary card holder, and if you go over that, then you're gonna have to pay per visit as another way to try to keep the numbers down. But when I'm going into the Centurion Lounge and I'm thinking I would have had a better experience at TGI Fridays, well, then something is not as it should be. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. If you are a Platinum card holder and you use the Centurion Lounges or airport lounges in general, do you think this is a problem you encounter often, especially if you're a frequent traveler? Love to hear it all in that comment section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to proudmoney.com where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. If you are not going to leave a comment or you're not going to go to the website, the video you'll want to watch next is right there.